Hello and welcome to the Ingy Pink podcast, where we explore the latest trends and insights in personal and professional development. I am your host, Ingrid Pinkett, and today we're going to talk about something that I think we can all relate to, which is the idea of not knowing how to do something, but still being determined to make it happen. So we're calling this episode, I don't know how, but I will error. And I wanted to talk about this because this is kind of where I am right now. I am actually starting on this new journey, this new venture. I moved to the other side of the country for a while to be able to launch this off, and I had no idea. Did not have an expertise in this area at all. And we will talk more about that later. If you do not know anything about my little bit of a journey over here, you can go ahead and check it out on my IPs Inside and Out. If you don't know about that, I'm going to link my little LinkedIn in there, and you will see that at the bottom of this from wherever you are watching this episode. If you are on YouTube or Facebook, it will be linked in there, and you can go ahead and click on it and just kind of check me out. A few things over there. All the ways to be able to get a hold of me is also there. So go ahead and check me out. Anyway, to start off, let's talk about why this topic is so important. So in today's fast-paced world, we're consistently faced with new challenges and opportunities. And sometimes we don't have the luxury of knowing exactly how to tackle them. But that doesn't mean we should give up. In fact, it's just the opposite. When we don't know how to do something, it's an opportunity to learn, grow, and develop new skills. And that was kind of how I looked at this. Like, you know what? I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what I'm doing. But you know what? This is an opportunity for me to be able to learn how to do something different, to expand my knowledge, to expand my skill set, to expand my financial portfolio, all of those things. So with that in mind, I wanted to make sure that even if I don't know, there's always resources. There's always somebody else that knows something that you don't know. So please make sure to ask. I did a lot of that. I've been doing a lot of research, a lot of questions, a lot of asking. How does this happen? How do I do this? How do I make, this go the way that I need it to go? What are the things that I need to do in that regard? And God has aligned the universe to be able to put some amazing people in my path. And I love it. I love it. I absolutely love it. So how do we actually go about making things happen when we don't know? The first step is to acknowledge that we don't know everything. It's okay to admit that we're not experts in everything and that we can always learn more. Once we acknowledge that, we can start to take steps towards our goal. We can break it down into smaller, manageable tasks and start to figure out how to tackle each one. And that is so important. My children always pick on me, and ever since they were little, I always made lists for everything. Why? Because a list tells me all the things that I need to do, and also it tells me the things that I don't know, that I need to find out about. So I had a list for everything, and even to this day, doing what I'm doing now, I have lists for everything, including everything that I'm doing within a day. Even if I don't get to every single thing, because trust me, life be lifing. You got to give yourself some grace. At times, my goal coach always says that. Shout out to Christy D. Marie. Woo woo! But she always talks about give yourself some grace. If you are doing 85 things and you only made it to 75, honey, them other 10 things, you're going to be all right. So give yourself a grace and celebrate those wins. Another important aspect of making things happen is being resourceful. When we don't know how to do something, we need to be able to find the resources that will help us get out there. This might mean asking for help from others, like I talked about, or looking for information online, or seeking out mentors who can guide us. The key is to be proactive and not to be afraid to ask for help when we need it. There's also going to be times when we feel like giving up. Okay. So there are times when the challenges seem too big and the obstacles seem too insurmountable. But it's in these moments that we need to draw on our inner strength, our resilience, our determination. We need to remind ourselves why we started on this journey in the first place and what we hope to achieve. And I can tell you from experience, I do this a lot. I have to sit back and I have to remind myself the reason why I started on this journey, the reason why I accepted this challenge and said, okay, I am jumping all the way in full force. I am going 10 toes down and I am standing on what it is that I know that I need to do no matter what. Now, is everything, perfect? Does it work out every single aspect of my list, my goal, my tasks, all of that? Heck no. No, it does not. But you know what? Even when things don't work out, that just means that there is something greater that is going to come out of this. There is something that is going to blow my mind, because what I had planned for this was not the thing that was supposed to take this to where it needs to go. Does that make sense to you? So it's not gonna, what you're thinking and how you had it mapped out is not going to bring you to the level that is being promised to you, or it's not going to bring you to the goal that you have said, this is what I wanted, this is what I need, this is what I need to do, and this is what I know, how I see that I need to get there. But when you stretch yourself and you're amendable to be able to make changes and also to pivot, to adjust, that means the wonderful things that are going to happen in your life is going to surpass even what you thought. Even what you thought. So remain open to that. Enjoy the journey. Enjoy it. Draw on the part of, I am going this place. Look at where you're going. Keep your eyes focused on that. Right? And even if it doesn't, the way to get there doesn't look like you mapped it out, just remember and draw on that inner strength. Say, I don't know how I'm going to do that because this is totally off from what I wrote down. But you know what? If this is the path that the universe has lined out for me, and that God is saying I need to go this way, or however it is that you believe in the higher power, by all means, take that. Know that and feel that in your gut. There are things that I know that I feel as opposed to I don't see them. But every step of the way, I get this feeling, and I'm speaking for Ingrid right now. I get this feeling that this is the way that I'm supposed to go. This is the path that I'm supposed to take. I don't know what's going to happen next. Sometimes I have no idea as to how it's going to unfold. But when I sit back and I meditate and I talk to God about it, I pray about it, I meditate, all of the things, the self-care time, all of the stuff that I do to find out how I'm feeling about this, or what my gut is saying, my spirit, that small still voice, because remember, the small still voice does not yell at us. It is very silent and very soft. And when I listen to that, this wave of peace and comfort comes over me that lets me know that I am on the right path, doing the right thing, even if it don't make sense to me. So let's talk about some practical strategies for making things happen when we don't know. Let's talk about some practical strategies. So first, let's talk about the importance of setting clear goals. When we don't know how to do something, it's easy to feel overwhelmed and uncertain. But by setting a clear goal, we can focus our efforts and start to break down the tasks into smaller and manageable steps. We can also talk about the power of experimentation. Okay. So when we don't know how to do something, we can't be afraid to try new things and experiment with different approaches. Be open to, you may have things mapped out, which is what I talked about earlier. You may have things mapped out, but this does not mean that's the only way to get there. If you remain open and you dibble and you dabble and something else feels like that could be a possibility, or something else feels that may be it, or you go from, dibble and dabbling and here and there, just know that the approach that you have listed out, don't be dogmatic about that. Be amenable to the fact that there might be a different way to get to the same destination. That way could be easier, or that way could be harder. It could be harder because it's teaching you something, because it's telling you that the next step, you need this step in order to get to the next step, because it's going to complement. When I take you to some place that's a little bit harder, you are going to know that if I got through that, I can get through this. Does that make sense? So please, stay open. Do not make a permanent decision on a temporary circumstance. Keep staying focused on the bigger picture. Can you guys tell that I'm passionate about this? I know you can. I think because when we're going through it personally ourselves, and as I was writing this out, a lot of this is so personal to me because I'm actually living it right now. And so I'm passionate about it, because as I'm talking to you, when I give these things to you guys, I'm talking to myself too. And I wonder if you can tell me in the comments, if you can tell me what happens with me when I'm passionate about some of these things. If you can figure that out and you can kind of tap into it, let me know what gives you an indication in the comments that I'm passionate about something. And actually tell me in the comments, what are you passionate about? Let me know some of the things that you are also passionate about. And I'm going to tell you, let's get back to this, because when we don't know how to do things, I stopped that. We can't be afraid to try new things and experiment with different approaches. This might mean taking a class. It might mean watching tutorials or seeking out feedback from others. And don't forget, wise counsel is just that. Make sure that the feedback that you're receiving, the person that you're asking about, make sure that their counsel is wise. You don't need anybody that's gonna jump on the bandwagon of the naysayers or the haters. You don't need that. Be cautious about who you ask things from. So make sure you're cautious in that regard. The key is to be open, though, to new experiences and perspectives, and not to be afraid to make mistakes. I can tell you, along this journey, I have made a few mistakes, okay? I have let people in my life that wasn't supposed to be there. But wait a minute, let me not say that. Let me say that people that were supposed to be in my life for a moment, a reason, or season, I switched their roles. So instead of them coming in just for a moment because they were supposed to show me something, I may have switched them to a reason or a season. They were not supposed to be there. It was supposed to be a moment. But you learn from these experiences. You learn that you learn that mistakes are mistakes. You can recover from them. You can move forward. You recognize it. You acknowledge it. You learn from it. You learn from it. Every test is a testimony. So as you are going through this, understand that it's not going to be perfect. You may make a mistake, and that's okay too. That's what life is about. Life is about understanding that when you make that mistake, that you can turn that around. You can move in a different direction. You can adjust accordingly. And if you acknowledge it and understand what it was, which was an error on your judgment or on your part, you can take that and put that in the back of your mind, in the bottom of your spirit or in your soul, so that you won't do that again. Even if something comes up that looks like that, you are way more aware now. You know what you need to do to put those things in perspective so you don't go back to that place again. Another important aspect of making things happen is building a support system. When we don't know how to do something, it can be helpful to surround ourselves with people who can offer guidance, encouragement, and support. This might mean joining a community of like-minded individuals, seeking out a mentor, or simply finding an accountability partner. Find a friend, a coworker, someone in your close network that you can be held accountable to. I actually have my goal coach. I have my sister as well, who's also one of my best friends. She's my sister girlfriend. I have a couple of other sister girlfriends in the Southern California area and one more in Northern California as well. And they keep me accountable. They hold me to the things that I say. I have a mentor that I look up to, that I make sure that when I see stuff that she's posted, or business, whether it's personal, things like that, I try to grab it. I'm actually going through one of her books right now. It's also a journal to help me with life, my mindset, how I see things. Why? Because she has been where I've been. She's been in the place that I am right now, and she came out of it on top, doing the doggone thing, honey. So why would I not listen to her? Also, accountability, seeking out accountability from like-minded individuals is a vast amount of support that comes to you. They can hold you accountable on the places where you fall weak. They can say to you, hey, you know what? I see you doing that over there, but let me tell you, you're better than that. You can do this, you can do that. They're not holding a pity party for you. They're not going to leave you in the dirt and the dust and go ahead and get down there with you. But they also are going to pay attention enough and have the like-minded to know when things get hard for you. They're going to be able to see that as well and say, you know what, during my journey, or during the things that I have been doing, or I know who you are, and I know that you will overcome this too, but I understand. I have empathy for you. Maybe they have empathy. Maybe they don't know exactly, but at the time that you need that, warm hug, they can give that to you, but they also know that they're not going to be an enabler as well. That's why you got to think like-minded people. What is it? Who are you? Who are you? Where are you trying to go? Be around those people that are doing those same things. And then finally, let's talk about the importance of mindset. You guys hear me talk about this a lot. It has to do with your thinking. What are you thinking? How are you thinking it? What are the thoughts that are invading your mind? Because when we don't know how to do something, it is easy to feel discouraged and to doubt ourselves. But by cultivating a growth mindset, we can reframe our thinking and see challenges as opportunities for growth and learning. This means enabling uncertainty, being open to new experiences, and absolutely not to be afraid to ask for help. Please, if I don't tell you anything else and you don't get nothing else out of this, please, 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 for all my dynamic superstar, we got an S on our chest, we got our capes on, we are super women in every single thing that we do. Please don't forget to ask for help. When I tell you I had an issue with that, I had an issue years ago asking people for help. Now I understand that asking for help does not mean that I am weak. It does not mean that I do not have a destination and that I'm not going to get there. It does not mean that I cannot celebrate the things that, even if someone helped me get there, it does not mean that that negates that celebration that I need to have to say that I've made it to this point. Let me tell you, everyone in life at one point or another needs some help. Please, if you don't get nothing else out of this, if you need help in any area, doing anything, whether it is emotional, physical, financial, social, whatever it is, if you know that you don't have each and everything for that, by all means, please ask for help. I cannot say this enough. Please ask for help. And let me tell you something. If one person says no, that does not mean that the next person that you ask for help from will also say no. If you absolutely need the help, and sometimes it does not have to mean that you have to pay for it. You never know what somebody else may need from you. I have people that I'm helping that I've bartered with. I have people that are on a donation basis. For those of you that do not know and you're new listening to me, I have IR Pinkett Professional Services, and that is my virtual assisting business. I also am a I'm also am a business consultant as well. So I help people to be able to structure and organize their business. I'm also certified in project management, and I am also now certified on creating automations for people so they don't have to spend all of their time doing certain tasks that can be automated. And so I'm helping people to be able to create a structure. But everybody can't afford the dollar per hour. So what do? We barter, we exchange services. Trust me, there are things that other people need that you have access to. Okay, so please don't let that be a barrier for you. Ask for help. You never know what someone might say yes to. So if you don't get anything else out of this, please put that superwoman cape down, honey, and understand that it takes more than just you. You are not alone. When you are building something, I don't care anything in your life, whether it is raising your children, whether it is having a healthy household, career, marriage, relationship, whatever it is more than just you. You are going to need some assistance at some point. So do not be afraid to ask, because honey, a closed mouth do not get fed. No one assumes or can help or can jump in. They're not going to assume, especially when on the outside, you look like everything is perfect and you got it together, honey. So no one, oh, she don't need nothing. Oh, he doesn't need anything. No, they're good. I can tell, let me tell you something. Everything that glitter ain't gold. Okay. So if you are, and I'm going to say this too, if you are a person that has something to provide and to give, and you think that no one else needs that from you, share your gifts, share your resources, share those things. I would have never thought that I would be doing a podcast, but I remember, thank you so much, Tia, said your voice needs to be heard. And because of that little push, we're here now. So I would have never thought, I'm like, I don't have anything to offer. But you know what? These have been so enjoyable. And I have gotten so much out of this. Even if I go back and listen to my own podcast, it encourages me because you're in different stages at different times in your life. And to go back and to say, you know what, I need some encouragement. Why not listen to my own voice? Why not you listen to your own voice that can motivate you and encourage you and get you to where you need to be? Right? It takes not just you. You're not a lone wolf. You're not on an island by yourself. Ask for help if you need it. So to recap, we don't know how to do something. We need to be willing to learn. We need to be willing to experiment and to seek out resources. We need to surround ourselves with supportive people, cultivate a growth mindset, and not be afraid to ask for help. And most importantly, we need to take action and start taking small steps toward our goal. Thank you so much for joining me today. Um, I wow, I don't know how, but I will in this era. In my I don't know how, but I will error. So thank you so much for joining me on the Ingy Pink podcast today. You could be anywhere else. You did not have to click on this. You did not have to listen to me, but I thank you and I appreciate you so much for being here. I know I missed one last week. Don't get me. But these will be every Tuesday. It will be here for you. And again, I am super excited to be doing this. Thank you so much for IR Pinkett Professional Services for sponsoring today's episode of the Ingy Pink podcast. So everything that you need for this podcast, my LinkedIn and all of that will be down at the bottom. If you are listening to this by audio, please go to www.irpinkett.com. If you would like to have a 30-minute business consult with me, let's talk about what it is that I might be able to do for you, or we can talk about where you are in your business right now. And if I have any resources, trust me, I have a lot of resources that might be able to help you to get to where it is that you would like to go. And by all means, I would absolutely love to share those with you, even if it's not something myself. But like I said, trust me, I know quite a few people, and I am not a gatekeeper, honey. I will share all that I have with you. So there is a link down below where you can go ahead and book me for that 30-minute consultation. And again, it is absolutely free. So I'm not charging you for it. There is no cost, no charge. You can book that 30-minute consult with me, and let's get going. Let's get started. Alrighty, so again, thank you so much. My name is Ingrid Pinkett. I am the host and the proprietor of the Ingy Pink podcast. And if no one has told you today, you are awesome. I will see you next Tuesday, 9 a.m. Pacific time. Bye.